Welcome to Rooftops Radio. As always, I'm your host, Carrie. Hey friends, it's Carrie here with Rooftops Radio. Rooftops Radio, bringing you the latest and greatest news and music from the settlement. As always, I'm your host, Carrie. Hey friends, it's Carrie, bringing you the latest news and music on Rooftops Radio. Welcome back to Rooftops Radio. I'm your host, Carrie. Another day, another broadcast of Rooftops Radio with Carrie. No matter how bad things get, you can count on me to bring you news and music on Rooftops Radio. My name is Carrie. Let's get started. Carrie here to catch you up on the latest news and music on Rooftops Radio. The only radio station produced by and for the Rooftops. I'm Carrie, and this is Rooftops Radio. It's Carrie, the host of Rooftops Radio, here to bring you the latest news and music. A gentle reminder, guys, not to overload the elevator when coming back with supplies. Last night, someone exceeded the max weight limit and it sounded like the cable was about to snap. If the elevator goes out, there's no guarantee that we can get it back up and running again. Listen up. There are rumors that there are wild edible plants near the river and in the abandoned parks. Cattails are plentiful near water. The roots are edible and the tops can be used for kindling. So if you see some, we can definitely use the kindling. Hey friends, more rumors about wild edible plants around the city. Dandelions are completely edible. The roots can be roasted and turned into dandelion coffee. The greens and the flowers can be eaten raw, or we can make the flowers into dandelion wine. I don't know about you, but I could use a drink. Hey friends, there's rumored to be medical supplies in the abandoned Ezera facility in the contaminated area east of here. Unless you've got protective gear and good firepower, I don't think you should go hunting for meds, but we could really use some anti-nausea pills and painkillers. The addiction to spice is becoming more than our medics can handle. The meds we need to safely manage withdrawal symptoms are quickly running out. We need to stop spice from getting into the settlement and getting more people addicted. True Sons have control of the area south of Pennsylvania Avenue. Stay clear of the True Sons. If you see them, hide. Don't run. They'll just use you for target practice. We can barely get away from the hyenas. We are not prepared to fight the True Sons. We're asking people to save any colored paper they find for an art project. I know it sounds a little frivolous, but it would mean a lot to the person making the request. Donations can be made to the guard posts. So, it sounds crazy, but if you come across some black cohosh, harvest that shit for our medics. It's a small green shrub that's got tall flower stalks covered in little white flowers. I guess it's like an anti-inflammatory. It's good for arthritis and headaches. Without the pharmaceutical grade stuff, we need to go back to herbal remedies. Keep an eye out for black cohosh. So our medics are looking for white willow bark. They say it's supposed to help with headaches and work as a fever reducer. So I guess if you see a willow tree, steal some of the bark and bring it back for the medics to test out. All right, got another request from our medics. If you see any feverfew, collect it and bring it back for meds. It's supposed to be good for fever, headaches, arthritis, and digestive problems. The medics want to use it to manage spice withdrawal. The plants can grow up to 28 inches tall and have flowers with white petals and a bright yellow center. It's kind of like a tiny daisy. So if you find some, harvest whatever you can carry. If you can keep the roots intact, we might be able to grow it here for the medics. Great, we're starting to work together. The solar panels are coming online. They are generating enough power for our security lighting at night, and we've even started working on some hydroponic farming to increase our food supply. Things are starting to feel less like a refugee camp and more like a community now. The medics would like to thank everyone who has been collecting wild plants. They have been successfully treating some of the withdrawal symptoms as people stop taking spice. Managing the symptoms is the first step toward making recovery a viable option for those who have become dependent on the drug. I don't know if you've seen the new planting beds, but they are starting to show signs of life. We've got little sprouts popping out of the ground and the promise of fresh fruits and veggies. It's been so long since we've had real food. Dandelion greens are okay, but what I wouldn't give for a BLT. Now, if only someone could go hunt down a wild boar and make me some bacon. All right, we got the solar panels up and working. With this new power source, we can finally run some security lights. I know we've been having problems with theft at night. Hopefully, these new lights will curb that behavior. I don't know if you've seen the new watering system, but it's pretty genius. They're collecting rainwater and then funneling it to the garden beds using gravity. Like there's no electricity, no pumps. It's just water falling from the sky being fed to our little rooftop gardens. We're working smarter, not harder. Now, I don't really know when this started happening, but things seem cleaner. People seem less anxious and angry. Maybe we are finally moving on to the acceptance part of grief. We know that the world isn't going back to how it was before, and now we're finding new ways to live in this world. Whatever the cause, it's just nice to see people interacting with one another instead of looking for ways of escaping. Okay, so the best thing about having extra power is we can actually power electronics again. The communication grid is still down, but our radio signal is going farther than ever. And I don't know if you've checked it out yet, but someone set up a game room. They've got some consoles and games. And let me tell you, it's a much healthier way to escape the daily grind than doing spice. So, you know that death trap we use to get in and out of the settlement? Yeah, since we got the solar panels up, it seems to be running a lot smoother. I don't know if we found a mechanic who greased the gears or did some major overdue maintenance on the elevator, but whatever is making it run smoother, it just feels safer. So big thanks to the unsung heroes who are fixing the elevator. Anyone who is looking to get off spice, we have medics and counselors who are able and willing to help you. We have some herbal meds to manage the withdrawal symptoms and counselors who are leading group talks and starting recovery programs for anyone interested in fighting their addiction. If you're interested, you can get more information about the recovery programs from one of the medics. The garden is really coming along, but there are some more materials laying around that could probably be put to better use. So if you've got some free time and are willing to help work on the garden and the water system, I'm sure the gardeners would like the help. I don't know what the hell that thing is, but it's starting to look pretty cool. They've got these weird balloons inflated, and it looks like some mechanical thing is being welded in the middle. Someone has a weird-ass idea. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but they're using a bunch of helium, and it's actually starting to look dope. Maybe it's a public art installation? I don't know. I guess we'll see eventually. Guys, I don't know if you've seen the new art, but it's pretty dope. Like, you should totally check it out. I don't know why, but it just makes me smile. And it reminds me that we are in this together and anything is possible as long as we are willing to work together. Anyway, that's what I get out of it. Maybe you'll get something else. All right, there's a rumor going around that big-ass balloon thing strapped to the roof is actually a wind turbine. I don't know how that is supposed to work, but if it works, we will have solar and wind power. We have no money, no manufacturing. It's just random found objects being repurposed, and we are going to have 100% renewable energy. But why the fuck were we doing this shit before the green poison? I mean, seriously, if we can do this while being shot at, the country could have done this when we were an economic powerhouse. It's fucking crazy to me that we didn't get the solar panels set up sooner. But it's crazier to me that we have spent all this time relying on fossil fuels when we have solar, hydro, geothermal, and wind power. Like, I know that solar panels in Seattle is a shitty idea, but they have so much wind and water that you just switch that shit out. Like, we could have done all this work to change our infrastructure before the power grid went down, and we just didn't. I don't know if it was fear or complacency, but now we don't have any choice but to find solutions. So we are. If you haven't checked it out yet, there's a new game room. You might have to wait a while, but it's worth it, y'all. They've got some consoles set up and a decent collection of games to play too. It's kind of nice to play a game where you have more than one life if you fuck up. Maybe I'll see you there. Listen up, guys. We could use some volunteers who know some stuff about plants. to go out and harvest seeds and wild edible plants to add to the garden. You might be able to find some seed packets laying around, but who knows if they are any good. Anyways, we're thinking about expanding the gardens. Now, we just need plants for them. It's really incredible how different things are now. We have working tech. Our crops are starting to yield. We have food security. Fuck, I didn't even have food security before the crisis. That's huge. And for the first time in a long time, people feel like they can actually relax. We've even got an art exhibition coming up. I mean, life will never be the same, but it's starting to feel like we're living again. Okay, to the genius who decided to take large swaths of fabric and turn them into wind sails, I fucking love you. This summer has been brutal, and we're not even into the hottest month, and getting those wind sail shade things has been a miracle. They look beautiful, and it's at least 10 degrees cooler in the shade. I don't know whose idea it was, but you are a godsend. Okay, so that inflatable thingy that I didn't know what the hell it was, yeah, totally a wind turbine, but also totally a public art project. This beautiful mix of art and engineering is now floating above the settlement, providing us with energy, some shade, depending on the time of day, and a beacon in the sky that calls us home. It really is one of the coolest public works I've ever seen. So, I was kind of happy when the elevator wasn't a death trap, but the fully automated, clean, and safe elevators in and out of the settlement are something I didn't think we would ever have. It's kind of sad how irrationally happy it makes me to ride in a smooth elevator with working lights that don't smell of urine and farts. It's the little things that start to make you feel human again. Listen up, people. We are growing our own food. And we have managed to collect enough water to not only maintain our little farm, but, I can't believe I'm saying this, we have landscaping now. One of the gardeners had some spare time, energy, and materials to go through and do some landscaping. There are plants and flowers in the settlement for decoration. I'm pretty sure you can still eat them. I don't think they planted anything poisonous, but you don't have to eat them. We're growing things for beauty, not just food, guys. Guys, if you haven't checked out the marketplace yet, you should really go see what the vendors have. We've opened all these trade routes, and there are people from all over the city trading goods and selling supplies. It's like we have an economy again. If you've missed shopping, we basically have our own little mall. Okay, I don't know if you've been to the bridges lately, but they're unrecognizable. They're like actually stable. They feel safe, solid, and they're actually pretty attractive. Like, they look nice. They look like whoever made them actually gave a shit. We're starting to take pride in the place we call home instead of just slapping some scrap wood over a hole. We're like properly repairing and building structures. I don't know about you, but it makes everything feel more permanent and like less disposable. So we are no longer using a strictly hydroponic system for the garden. They switched to an aquaponic system. So we're now raising fish to make fertilizer to feed the plants, to grow our veggies, to feed the settlement. And I'm pretty sure once the fish get big enough, we can eat them. So who's down for a fish fry on the 4th of July? Do you remember that colored paper we were collecting? Well, I finally figured out what it was for. Someone was making paper lanterns. There's now a common area covered with lights, covered with handmade origami paper lanterns. It's so pretty and festive. It clearly was a labor of love, and those of you who found paper for the project contributed to this beautiful piece of public art. The medics would like to let you know that they have successfully weaned several people off spice. The herbs have mitigated the worst of the withdrawal symptoms, and several people are celebrating 1 week sober. There will be a chip presentation at the next recovery meeting for anyone who has reached this amazing milestone. So the area formerly known as Addicts Alley has been remade as Artists Alley. There are permanent and temporary works of art on display there. Who knows, maybe you can find an artist whose work you love and can maybe buy or trade for some of their work to decorate your shelter. If you haven't checked it out yet, Artist Alley is really inspiring, guys. The work people have been making is absolutely incredible. They say that pain breeds great art. Well, if anything could prove that bullshit true, it's the work that people have been creating in Artist Alley. I mean, some of the pieces about addiction are really hard to confront, but they are just so real and honest and truthful. I can't do it justice. You just have to go check it out for yourself. Okay, seriously? The bridge covered in plants and flowers is fucking gorgeous. It's such a huge difference to walk through this beautiful tunnel of greenery in the sky. The smells, the cool shade and humid mist that comes off the plants. It's like for a moment, you just stepped into a jungle or a rainforest or some shit. Like, it's surreal. Oh yeah, we have turrets. We have fully automated security robots that will protect our perimeter from anyone who wants to do us harm. I don't really like the killing indiscriminately part of the turrets, but eliminating human error and the moral responsibility and guilt of being forced to take a human life is better for all of our sanity and morale. People have, jobs now. We have a sense of purpose, responsibility, duty, and people are taking pride in their work. They're learning skills and mastering them. We aren't just trying to keep shit together with duct tape and a prayer anymore. We are actually dedicated to building something that will last. Now, if there's a better way of expressing hope and commitment to other people, I don't know what it is. We have real, fresh vegetables from our own gardens. We have food security, guys. I don't know that I could say I had food security before the crisis. It's amazing how we are all starting to work together. We're a real community and not just a bunch of people who happen to be living near one another. It's always been a big city in a small town. We used to be those people who shared space but never knew one another, and that's changing, and it feels good. Weird, different, but good. Okay, whoever liberated all those outdoor floor tiles to recover the rooftops with beautiful brown faux hardwood parquet floor, listen, you are a design god or goddess. Changing the floor from that cold, oppressive, industrial tar paper to this warm, smooth surface, it just makes it feel like a place where people would actually want to hang out and live. Between the new sunshades and the floor, I just want to be outside all the time. It's so warm and inviting. It kind of feels like one of those posh rooftop gardens and not a refugee camp. Is it just me, or does the settlement feel like a place you want to live now? It's not like we didn't have other options. We were free to leave any time and take our chances, but now it feels like a place where you actually want to live. Like, if money were still a real thing, I wouldn't be pissed about paying rent. You know what I mean? It just feels like a place where we want to be, not a place where we have to be. Okay, so the turrets are cool, right? I'm not mad at the turrets. Well, unless our robot overlords decide we are no longer friendly. But the coolest new security feature is the tear gas deterrent. It's non-lethal, but super effective and getting people to leave us the fuck alone. And we know it's there, so we can just bring masks with us in case someone sets off the gas. Now, if you don't have gas masks, I saw plenty of vendors with some for sale. So, the coolest freaking thing is we have a self-contained fish and veggie farm. We're raising fish that poop food for plants so we can eat the plants and feed the compass to the worms, and the worms and leftover compass feed the fish, who then make more poop to feed the plants. And when the fish get mature and make more fish, we can eat the big fish to make room for the next generation of fish to poop, to feed our plants, to feed the worms, to feed the fish. Y'all, science is fucking cool, yo. If you haven't heard about the new Lost and Found station, you should really check it out. Okay, it's not like a normal Lost and Found. It's like this magical place full of treasures that you thought were gone forever or you didn't know you needed. There's like a little bit of hope in every item that they've rescued. Kids don't know how to lie. They haven't learned how to master it. Oh, don't get me wrong. They can be manipulative little assholes, but they aren't adept liars. They let you know when they aren't happy, when they're tired and stressed and feeling overwhelmed. This week, I saw kids laughing and playing and genuinely enjoying themselves. If ever there was a canary in a coal mine letting you know things are getting better, it's the laughter of children. I know we've been pretty reserved with the meds that have been circulating. Most of the pain medication has been reserved for people who are gravely injured or going through withdrawals. But the medics are now offering pain medication for minor aches and pains. So if you have a headache, you can get a dose of one of the herbal remedies. So, I know it's a thankless job, but we now have custodial engineers. We have people who take pride in maintaining the settlement and keeping it beautiful, clean, and safe for all of us to enjoy. So, don't be a dick and pick up your shit. So, I heard in prison people used to make toilet wine. It feels like we should be able to make some, hopefully not in a toilet wine with all the wild fruits and berries. I don't know about you, but drinking a glass of sangria under a sunshade, listening to the whir of the turbine, is my new fantasy, and one that I think we could achieve if someone went down and harvested some of the cherries from those 3,000 trees the Emperor of Japan gave us in 1912. I'm just saying, we should have a fuck ton of cherries. And that shit could be wine. No, seriously, there are so many fruit trees around town. Between the parks, gardens, people's yards, and the cherry trees in Tidal Basin, there is so much fruit waiting to be harvested and made into juice, which, if we just leave that shit in the sun, will become wine. I mean, things are pretty great right now, but they could be perfect with a nice glass of the house red. I'm just saying. Listen up. If you see Grace today, I want you to give her a big hug and a kiss from me. I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, and we've gotten in some pretty heated debates, but this little ray of sunshine is moving out and onto bigger and better things. I'll miss you, Grace. I hope you use that big-ass brain of yours to bring more people together. Shout out to Charles. I don't know that we would have made it this far without you, man. Definitely would have had more friendly fire accidents if you hadn't taught us how to shoot. We'll miss you. Okay, this one hurts. I know we don't talk much, but Senait, I hope they treat you well over there. It was good seeing your face and knowing I wasn't alone. Anaya, you haven't been with us long, but you are so damn talented. Your brain is bananas. The way you can make random shit into something useful is incredible. The Division is lucky to have you, girl. Hey, friends, we've got a special guest on Rooftops Radio today. Agent Kelso, straight from the White House. Tell me, Agent Kelso, how does it feel to be effectively the head of the Division?
Great, Carrie. It feels good being able to search for a cure and fight for our country. It's a lot easier to do my job now. Before the crisis, there were all these gray areas. Those barriers are gone now. Look, we know who the bad guys are, and we know they are beyond redemption. Morality doesn't really come into it anymore. You just do the job, and if you do it well, you live to do it again tomorrow.
It's my pleasure to welcome back our very own Grace Larson. Tell us what you've been up to since being recruited by the Division.
Thanks for having me, Carrie. Honestly, it's been a dream come true. Well, not that the situation is ideal, but you never know where life is going to take you. I dreamed of someday working in the White House, and even though it's by no means the same glamorous and prestigious position, it feels like it was my calling to help restore our community, our country, to its former glory.
Hey, friends, you've probably missed hearing his voice around the rooftops. I know I have. Welcome our very own Charles Douglas to the show. Charles, how's life been treating you since you left our busted settlement for the White House?
It's been great. I really feel like I've been able to make a difference and use my expertise for the betterment of the city. It's funny. I was supposed to have a meeting in the West Wing the week after the lockdown. The only reason I was still in town was for that meeting. I guess it's sort of ironic that I work there now.
I got a real treat for all my listeners. My girl, Senait Ezera, is here from the White House. I have missed you, girl. How are they treating you over there? You doing anything exciting?
Good. I manage the DZs. We're treating the supplies contaminated with DC-62 and putting them to good use.
Well, we've got a special treat for all you listeners out there. The White House's very own Manny Ortega is with us on the program today. So, tell me about yourself, Manny.
Well, not much to tell. Originally from San Diego, was working in D.C. and staying with my aunt and uncle when the lockdown was ordered. Yeah, lost both of them. My aunt to the dollar flu and my uncle to the hyenas. The rest of my family's back in Cali. Last I heard, they were getting by. Haven't been able to talk to them since the comms went out. Hoping to check in soon.
I've got a real treat for all my listeners out there. Our very own leader, Odessa Sawyer. How are you doing?
Good. Can't tell you how much it means to me to have my daughter back. I really didn't think she was coming home. I don't know that I would have survived if we lost her. I just want to thank the division agent who brought her back to me.
This one goes out to the brave and reckless. The DC-62 depot to the east is no longer under quarantine. Now, it's still contaminated as fuck, but if you got some good safety gear, you can check it out. There used to be a Ezera hospital, so you might be able to find some good medical supplies. Probably have to decontaminate anything you find in there, but it might be worth it. Well, congratulations. The quarantine area in the south is now open for business to the incredibly brave and reckless. The old refugee camp turned supply depot, you know the one? The one that got flooded with DC-62. Yeah, that one is now open. So, if you're looking for some sweet supplies that probably need to be decontaminated, you can do that now. I guess it's cool to have a new area to roam. I'm sure the scenery is starting to get a little stale. To the division agent who got Eleanor back from the hyenas, it's my honor to tell you that she is back home, safe and sound. I hope I speak for the entire settlement when I say thank you for bringing our girl back to us. We'd like to take a moment of silence to honor our fallen. Agent Espinosa wasn't always the most congenial, but he gave his life to help us. The intel agents recovered from the stockade will help our patrols better handle the hyenas. That's a pretty big win. Yo, this shit just keeps getting crazier and crazier. They've been making chemical weapons to use against us. I mean, this is some war crime shit. I'm so glad we were able to shut down their production. I just hope they don't have a stockpile of these weapons somewhere else. Hell yeah! Today, we got a win, guys. A legit win. We shut down those fuckers' factory. We got their guns and ammo. They have crazy-ass stockpiles, but this is gonna slow them down, and sometimes that's all you need to turn everything around. Just a little time to catch up and take back what's ours. The division got the satellites back online, and the agents are really close to being able to communicate with people across the nation. We might actually be able to talk to people outside of the city soon. As the local DJ of this station, I want to just give a shout out to the division agent who scored us that sweet new radio equipment. With that gear, we can boost the signal and have a stable means of communication and find out who else is out there looking to join us. You know, without having to let them in the house before we vet them. They did it. They actually did it, guys. The division shut down the hyenas. The council that has been terrorizing us for months have all been taken out. The lower level hyenas are scrambling, probably fighting over who's going to replace the bosses. But for now, we are a little safer, thanks to the division. Ridgeway is dead. The true sons have lost their leader, the man who brought them all together. Without their daddy, I don't know that these true sons have any reason to stay a family. They thought they were invincible. They got cocky, then they got sloppy, and we were able to take advantage of their carelessness. And we won. Today, we won. Listen up. Until further notice, stay clear of the lawn and the area south of Constitution. Black Tusk have taken over the old True Sun stronghold. Listen up. Until further notice, stay clear of the area northeast of Pennsylvania Avenue and 9th. Black Tusk have taken over the old Hyena stronghold. Hey, y'all. Keep your heads up, all right? Now, we're currently unable to leave the settlement. It's not safe out there. Try not to let it get you down, though. Refocus on what we can control. Your work around the settlement. Tend the gardens, clean something, You know, if you can be of service, it will help take your mind off things. All right, we're getting reports of hyenas infiltrating True Sun's territory. It's best to stay out of their way while they settle this turf war. Division agents are patrolling the streets, but it's recommended that civilians shelter in place. All right, guys. Summer storms and flash floods have the danger of polluting local groundwater in the east and south. Now, DC 62 and sewage-contaminated floodwaters could seep out of the quarantine zones and into neighboring aquifers. Our medics recommend charcoal filtering and boiling all water collected from groundwater sources. Rainwater should still be boiled before consuming in case of parasites, but it does not need to be filtered prior to boiling. There are rumors the hyenas and True Sons have become more active since a new wave of division agents arrived. They seem to be hoarding resources and becoming more aggressive. The hyenas have been using spice to control anyone who would challenge them. There's an epidemic of addiction to this new designer drug. With little hope after months of isolation, many people are looking for any means of escape, and the hyenas are more than willing to provide. Attention civilians, we are currently under a blockade. At this time, you cannot leave the settlement. I know that it's not what you want to hear right now, but please stay inside. Don't try to leave. If you are currently trapped outside the settlement, shelter in place. If you see hyenas or True Sons, do not engage with them. Try to hide. If you're on the street, good luck. I really hope to see you all soon. It's been over 6 months since the vice president's body was found. We still don't know where the Speaker of the House is. The line of succession is broken, not that there is any real government left, and the casualties in the House and Senate were hard to fathom. The cabinet was decimated. It's hard to really understand how much has changed. I don't know if it's because I'm tired. I don't know if it's because it feels like we will never really be free. But I realized that I always sort of expected something like this to happen. Not this exact thing, but something like this. I always expected that if the shit really hit the fan, people would start turning on each other. But some of us would try to find a community where we could help each other survive. I wish I had better news. I wish I could tell you that we were free to roam about the city and enjoy a warm summer day in the park with a hot dog and a double chocolate dip vanilla ice cream cone. I wish that was the news I had today. Instead, I have to tell you to shelter in place. Drink as much water as you can and try to not get too depressed. There's rumors that there might be some survivors living on their own in the woods. Maybe when this blockade is lifted, we can send someone to look for these people and invite them to join the settlement. The hardest part about being in lockdown is never knowing if it will end. It just feels like it will never end, and I don't know when it's okay to give up. If it's okay to give up. This is probably why so many people are addicted to spice. At what point does a refugee camp become a humanitarian prison? We can't leave. We are dying. Every day, more and more people die. We reported to camp like good little soldiers. We did what we were told. We left our non-essential property behind and waited for evacuation buses. We waited for our saviors to take us out of the city, and instead, they locked us in here. They wrote down our names and filed us away as likely casualties of the green poison. They locked us in to die, but we didn't die. We survived the virus, and now we are trying to survive each other. I think it's kind of great that money is the thing that led to the downfall of capitalism. The dollar flu killed the dollar. It made billions of dollars disappear overnight. In a world where cash was king, the world took the king out back and set him on fire for fear he might be contagious. Overnight, we turned into a paper money hating world. Our worth shifted from how much cash we had to what we could contribute. Our worth was no longer attached to the idea of how much someone was willing to pay us, and instead became about tangible ways that we could support one another. What skills we have and what services we could provide became more important than if we could afford a nice car or a swanky apartment. Sometimes, I think about my life before the crisis. I think that maybe I should have taken that job in Cali. That maybe if I had, I wouldn't be stuck here. I wouldn't be calling out to the void in the middle of a blockade, asking for you to be careful, praying that the strangers who can hear my voice know that even if I don't know your name, I want you to be safe, that I want you to live to tell your story. I want people to remember what happened here. I want them to know who became our enemies and the ordinary people who became heroes. Please, please do not use. I know that it's hard. I know being trapped here is terrifying and triggering and a constant source of anxiety, but please don't use. Not today. We can do that. It's just one day. We don't have the medicine to get people through withdrawal if they stop taking spice. And we don't have the reserves to wean people off the drug. Attention. Black Tusk is gone. We can leave the settlement. I'm not sure if those fuckers are coming back either. Now, if you're gonna leave, make sure you've got ammo and a place to stay if we end up in lockdown again. Hey, get your drink on. Black Tusk just fucked off, y'all. We can move in and out of the settlement now. Hey, friends. Just wanted to let you know that the Black Tusk blockade has been lifted. You can freely move in and out of the settlement. Listen up. Word is the Division took out one of the Black Tusk strongholds. Rumor has it that they were able to recover some new tech. I hope the Division can use it to their advantage and get these assholes out of town. All right, we just got word that the Division took out another Black Tusk stronghold. Now, if the rumors are true, it sounds like Emma has some new toys to play with. She should have some experimental weapons upgrades to test out soon. Guys, the last Black Tusk stronghold has been taken out. The Division is beating them back. It looks like they're moving out of the city. Rumor has it, Anaya recovered some blueprints and can now craft some sick gear for any agents in need of an upgrade. The Division faced down the Black Tusks at Tidal Basin. They're on the run. They've scattered throughout the city. So if you see a member of Black Tusk, do not approach them. I repeat, do not try to take them on by yourself. Get to a safe house and alert a Division agent to the threat. Give the agent a thorough description of the Black Tusk and where you last saw them, but do not put yourself in danger. They are merciless. Listen up. Today is a scorcher. Remember to stay hydrated and try to stay out of the sun as much as possible. Hey, friends. Another one for the record books. High heat today in the DC metro area. Be careful out there. Listen up, friends. It's a hot one. Remember to keep yourself cool and hydrated. Heat exhaustion can sneak up on you fast. Unless you scored some antihistamines last night or magically aren't bothered by pollen, you might want to stay inside today. Okay, it's high pollen today. Anybody out there got some allergy meds? No? Nobody? All right, whatever. If you need me, I'll be hiding from the world, okay? If your eyes are watering, you can't stop sneezing, or are having trouble breathing, don't worry. No one poisoned you. It's just a high pollen day. Hey there, friends. It's humid as fuck today. Be careful out there, all right? Hey, friends. Welcome to summer in DC. It's humid as hell, so watch out for swamp ass and trench foot. You might want to bring a couple of extra socks and shirts today. It's real humid. Hey there, friends. It's raining its balls off. Be careful out there. Hey, friends. It's raining. Do what you can to keep dry, because no one wants trench foot. You might want to bring out the waterproof gear today. It's raining. We're experiencing thunderstorms and flooding, so be careful out there. Be advised, we've got thunderstorms and flooding. Secure electronics and avoid low areas and water from contaminated zones. Attention, all those foolish enough to be out in this weather. We're experiencing thunderstorms and flooding. If you don't need to go out, don't go out. Anyone in floodplains or near contaminated zones should move to higher ground if possible. I think we could all use a break from the sounds of the city. Here's a little music to drown out the noise. And now, here's a little music to pass the time. I don't know about you, but I could use a break from the news. Here's some music from one of our local bands. How about some music? May not be my favorite song, but it's one we've got a recording of, so enjoy. And now for something completely different, a little music to pass the time. Anyways, here's a little music to take your minds off things. It's that time again. I can never remember the band's name, but I hope you enjoy this song from them. Hopefully, this next song will take your minds off your troubles. I think we could all use a pick-me-up. Here's some tunes for your afternoon. Now, for my favorite part of the show, where I shut up and we get to listen to some music. It's that time again where we bring you the best music we can find. It's time for the best new music. Well, the best new music we can find. Well, I'm out of news. How about we listen to some music for a while? I don't know about you, but I could use a little tension release. Enjoy some new songs from the settlement. Fuck it, I'm tired. Let's listen to some music. Welcome back to Rooftops Radio with your host, Carrie. And we're back. This is Carrie, and you're listening to Rooftops Radio. I hope you enjoyed that last track. Now, back to Rooftops Radio. As always, I'm your host, Carrie. Welcome back to Rooftops Radio with Carrie. I hope you liked that last track. Oh, I needed that. Music always calms me down. Now back to Rooftops Radio with Carrie. I really hope you liked that last track. Welcome back to Rooftops Radio with Carrie. And we're back to Rooftops Radio with Carrie. I hope you enjoyed that last track. And now, welcome back to Rooftops Radio. As always, I'm your host, Carrie. I don't know about you, but I'm a little keyed up after that last track. This is Carrie, and now, back to Rooftops Radio. Okay, that was a band whose name I can never remember with a track whose name I also can't remember. Damn, I need some coffee. It's too bad we ran out 3 months ago. Anyways, welcome back to Rooftops Radio with Carrie. Hey, welcome back. It's Carrie, the host of Rooftops Radio. Hope you enjoyed that last track. Thanks for staying tuned in to Rooftops Radio. And now, back to Rooftops Radio with Carrie. I guess you could call that music. I don't know, it's not really my thing. Anyways, welcome back to Rooftops Radio with Carrie. And we're back. Thanks for tuning in to Rooftops Radio with Carrie. Thanks for listening to Rooftops Radio. As always, I'm your host, Carrie. Until next time. Hey friends, it's Carrie here with Rooftops Radio. Signing off until next time. Rooftops Radio brings you the latest and greatest news and music from the settlement. This is Carrie saying goodbye for now. Until next time, friends. This is Carrie saying thanks for tuning in to Rooftops Radio. Thanks for listening. This is Carrie in Rooftops Radio, reminding you to be safe out there. This is Carrie in Rooftops Radio, reminding you to be kind to one another. Until next time. I'm your host, Carrie, here to remind you that if we stick together, we can accomplish anything. Tune in next time to Rooftops Radio for the latest news and music. Well, I gotta get back to it. Until next time, I'm Carrie, and this is Rooftops Radio, here to remind you that you are not alone. This is Carrie and Rooftops Radio, reminding you to tune in next time for all the latest settlement news and music. Have a good one. Tune in next time to Rooftops Radio with Carrie.